Hey, it's Brandon Stiles, and today we are going over Cloudinary's new WordPress plugin. This is version 2 of the plugin. I've got a video on my channel that talks about version 1, but this is kind of the new improved one, and it's a little bit easier to use, a little bit easier to configure, and just overall makes more sense to me. Now, if you don't know what Cloudinary is, it's this really cool software that takes images and video on your site and auto optimizes them so that they're smaller and a lot more space efficient, but they still look really sharp and they're delivered really quickly. You know, the number one issue that slows down most websites is the image sizes. So if you load up a website and you kind of see the waterfall of what's taking so long to load, a lot of people have these really huge images that just slow their website down, and that takes you down in Google rankings, and it takes you down in customer conversions, and it just becomes kind of a crapshoot. Now, the great thing about this is that it does it all automatically. So if you've already got like 1,000 pictures on your site, you don't have to take them down and then resort them and all that stuff. This does it for you. You just have to upload the plugin to your WordPress site, and you have to enter in a little API key, which is really easy. It's just copy and paste, and then you're pretty much ready to go. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how to use this new plugin and how to take advantage of it to speed up your website, get you ranked higher in the search engines, and hopefully increase your conversion rate. Let's dive in right now and check out Cloudinary's new WordPress plugin 2.0. So like I said, this video is all about the new Cloudinary WordPress plugin. And here is Cloudinary's website. So Cloudinary is basically software where you can upload your images directly to WordPress. You can manage them all on the back end of your WordPress site. So instead of using like the media library, you can use the Cloudinary media library that gets built in. All your images get migrated over with one click. So you don't have to drag and drop anything like that. So if you got like 1,000 images, they're all transformed on the fly, and then they're shown to your users. Now, the best thing about it too is the pricing. So under their pricing, they actually have a free tier, and the free tier is good for 25 credits. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you do the math, you can click into how do I calculate credits right here. 1 credit equals 1,000 transformations. So basically, on the free plan, you get 25,000 transformations. And basically, transformations can get a little complicated, but just think of them as uploading an image, essentially. So you can pretty much kind of upload in the 20 to 25,000 range and make a transformation on those images. And they're only counted once. So if you upload one image and then 10,000 people view that image, that's not 10,000 transformations, it's just one. So it only counts the initial upload. Or if it's not 25,000 transformations, you get 25 gigabytes of storage or 2,500 seconds of rendered standard definition video. And half of that for HD video. So that comes out to a little over 2 hours for standard definition video. So in short, you've got a lot of space and a lot of leeway with this free Cloudinary plan. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're just gonna essentially sign up and implement this on a WordPress website. Now, here's the site we're going to be looking at today. It's one that I built. So yeah, it's just a kind of a home organizer site built with Divi. This is one of their pre-made themes. But what I've done is taken all these images and made them really high resolution and big. So these images are going to be very, very data intensive. So some of them, I think this one's like 8 megabytes. And the thing that's going to slow your website down the most are going to be these big images. In fact, let's test this. Let's do a little before and after using Cloudinary. All right, so I'm going to go to GTmetrix and test this website. So first of all, let's test the site as it exists right now. All right, so the page is done, and we have an F, and our page is 5.45 megabytes. It took 2.4 seconds to load. Of course, I'm on a home internet connection, so it's gonna be fast. But you can see that where we failed the most was optimizing images, and here are all the images on just this one page that we need to optimize, and then the scaled images. So if we click on this image, like right now, it's only, you know, it's showing, I mean, I could even estimate it for you. You know, this image is only showing up as about 300 by 200 wide, but I think the original image is something like 6,000 pixels. So it's having to do all that work behind the scenes. So this is where Cloudinary comes in handy. It can take all of these and basically one click can optimize it, serve it, put it up on a CDN, etc., and virtually for free, unless you've got some just huge website. So I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. And we're gonna take it totally from step one. So first off, let's sign up for a new Cloudinary account. I'm gonna go to cloudinary.com. We're gonna click sign up for free and then enter in your information right here. Once I enter that in, I'm gonna scroll down and click create account. And that's it. It's gonna give you this little box right here. We'll just click out of that for now. So up here, you're going to see your Cloudinary username. You're gonna get your API key, your secret here, and then your environment variable, which sounds like a scary word, but it's really just how we link up WordPress with our Cloudinary. Now, before you get going, you need to verify with your email, so I'm gonna click over to that and I'll be right back. All right, just got it verified. So the next thing we want to do is download and install the new WordPress version 2 plugin. So let's go to our dashboard on our WordPress site. We're going to come over here to plugins and we want to add new. Then we want to search for the plugin. Just type in Cloudinary and this is it right here. So this should be the new one. You can double check it if you want to. Version 2.03, so that's good. We're going to install now. And like I said, I've used this and I've actually really liked this plugin. So these 3.5 stars, I'm sure that's taking into account the first one. The first one was a little clunky and could be hard to use, but I really like this version 2 plugin. So what we want to do is we want to click activate and then we should see it pop up over here. There it is. And all we need to do is use that API key that we talked about earlier to connect it. So we'll connect to Cloudinary right now. And here's that environment variable. So let's come back to Cloudinary and we want to copy this to clipboard, this whole thing. I'm going to bring it over here and we want to paste it in. Scroll to the front to make sure you don't have this Cloudinary URL equals thing right here. You just need to take that out, otherwise it's not going to work. And then you're going to save connection. And then very quickly, it took like 2 seconds, it's going to say connected to Cloudinary. So really that's all you need to do to get started. If you were to jump over to your media library right here, then you would start to see some icons being implemented that's going to show all these images that are implemented into the library. If we click on this grid view, have been uploaded to Cloudinary. Look, that green icon means that they are uploaded, and we can see that these are in the process of being uploaded, these orange ones. There's also a red one, and if you see a red one, it means that something went wrong, but I have not run into the red, thankfully, yet. So these are automatically uploading to Cloudinary, auto scaling. But before we check it, let's just make sure some things are in place. So again, this is really all you have to do. Cloudinary is now optimizing your images, syncing them, and it's delivering them to anybody that uses your site via CDN. And of course, it also copies over these images and videos to your WordPress storage. So let's say the Cloudinary plugin went out, you would have these images still available. They wouldn't be scaled. I don't believe in all that. But they would be on there. And you can actually see that these have a new URL right here, and it says scaled, meaning it has been taken over by Cloudinary. If we scroll down, we can see that they're all uploaded now. So that is the install and setup purpose. Honestly, you're ready to go, but I want to show you a few configuration options that you can take a look at. So let's take a look at configuring the actual plugin. You don't have to do this, but you can, like I said, customize this to your heart's desire. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So the first thing I want to do is click over into the dashboard. It's going to welcome us, and here we can manage the image or video settings. So I'm just going to look at images right now. I don't have any videos up, but it would be pretty much the same. And here's what you get. So video settings obviously are right here, and then image settings are right here. Now, if you leave these as is, it should work great. Because see, Cloudinary is automatically applying these automatic transformations to your pictures. But if, let's say, for some reason you're like, I only want the WebP format, or I only want the PNG format on my site, you can obviously choose that. And then here you can look at the compression quality. So you can set it to auto, or you can set it to auto best. You can set it to 20, which is not going to be very high. And whatever. And here you can apply image transformation strings, and this is what's called a global setting, and you can see it's global image settings. So what this means, anything you change in here essentially is going to globally affect every image that you've uploaded, and it's going to add on to the URL in this kind of format. So right now, in the case of this particular flower image, it's in the image upload directory. It's having the format of auto applied and the quality of auto applied, and then this is the name of the actual flower. If you want to know what other transformations you can apply, you can click onto this image transformation reference, and it's going to open up, and it's going to show you everything you can do, and it's actually really cool. So you can add watermarks to the images globally. You can account for width. You can account for height. You can kind of see the properties that you can add to the images here. You can, this is actually a really cool thing. You can actually select the gravity, and so that helps you focus on a certain part of the picture. For example, say you had a picture of the cat, and no matter how big the screen size was, whether it was as big as this laptop or as small as a phone screen, you could set the gravity to center, and this picture of the cat, no matter how big or wide the screen size was, the focal point would always be the center of this cat's face. Over here you can see all the different parameters that you can attach to the quality of the picture, the opacity, any effects, so you can kind of take away some of the green chroma in there, the overlay, so you can add an overlay or anything like that you want. Yeah, you can just do a lot of stuff, and remember, these are global transformations, so if you wanted to add a watermark to all these images, you could do that just by adding in that string right here. So if you wanted to type something like W400, H400, C crop, G face, then this would be a string that gets added to all of your pictures. You could even do this, like if you wanted to focus on different breakpoints. So let's say you wanted to focus on the face for bigger screens, but you wanted to focus on the northwest corner for small ones, you would put a slash right here, and that kind of opens up a new breakpoint. So this would now be in the mobile arena, and you could type in G northwest right there, and now all your pictures would kind of be, let's refresh the preview, would just be showing this part of the image right here, no matter how big the screen was or how small the screen was. So really cool. Cloudinary also comes with face detection. So you could set it to automatically detect faces in your pictures and make those faces the gravity point, really just by putting these in, right? This is not hard code. It just means the width is 400 pixels, height's 400 pixels, crop, blah, blah, blah. And again, you can just type those in all right here. It tells you how to do it. So face center would center up all those faces. So that's really, really cool. Now, just like you have global transformations, you can also do a per image transformation as well. So let's say you wanted one image to be black and white and have a different gravity or face detection algorithm than everybody else, all right? So you could come over to your Cloudinary media library right here, and you can actually pull up and edit one of these images. So let's say if I wanted to look at this home organizer 21 and I wanted to edit it, you can go in here and you can do all kinds of stuff, download it, copy URL, analyze it, but I want to edit it. So just like how CSS has a hierarchy, right? It's the same for Cloudinary. So the more specific rule is the one that's going to get shown. So if I make a global transformation on all my pictures and then come into here and edit one, the single one for this one image of this light bulb right here is going to take precedence. So if I wanted to add a effect, like if I wanted to blur it, you can refresh the preview here. If I wanted to kind of change the height, if I wanted to change it to a WebP, take the quality down, increase the corner radius, rotate it a little bit, really kind of anything you want. Let's increase the blur, and I clicked refresh preview. Then it would look like that, and that's going to apply to just this photo only. And of course down here you can copy and paste this, like if you wanted to do it into an app or whatever, you didn't want to automate this, you can drag that in. And notice how right here you can see these parameters that we talked about, right? C scale has been applied, E blur, so effect blur has been applied, and it has been dragged or implemented to 783, etc., etc. You can crop it, and then of course you can reset it if you want. And again, the most specific transformation is going to take precedence. So this individual image is going to take precedent over any transformations applied to a taxonomy, which is like tags or categories. And then below that is the global settings. If you wanted to go back and look at videos, videos have their own tab. And you can do a lot of the same things. Like you can choose which video player you want to use. You can use the WordPress player or the Cloudinary player. The Cloudinary player is going to give you a little bit more control, right? You can choose if you want it to autoplay. You can limit the bit rate, so if you kind of wanted to preserve your bandwidth, maybe you're running low on bandwidth for a month. And then of course you can apply global transformations here as well, like your typical, width 400, blah, 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 and save those settings. And again, these are global settings. And you can also go into, just like with images, into your Cloudinary library and make single transformations to videos there. So it's really easy. Now keep in mind, Cloudinary has already been applied to our website. It's ready to go. I'm just showing you configuration settings that you can check out. Next, let's go into our Sync Media tab right here. So Sync Media lets you kind of control where the media is stored on your Cloudinary account. So right now, if we go over there, it's being stored inside of this site that I created, inside of this library, the home library. But if you wanted to change that, you could. I don't really see a reason why you would want to do that, especially if we're talking just one site, but you can change your folder settings. And you can also do bulk sync. So maybe you already have 10,000 images on your website or 100,000. Cloudinary can handle all of those sizes, but it might be best to do a bulk sync. I don't need to do that right now because all of mine are uploaded. We only talked about 10 images, but you could, if you had a lot of images and you were just migrating over to Cloudinary, you could do that. Finally, you can also do, and this is pretty cool, a lazy migrate. So a lazy migrate means that none of your images get converted over until they're requested the first time. So let's say I did a lazy migrate on 10,000 images, and then some random dude in Alaska signed on, and he pulled up a page with an image on it. That image would get optimized on the fly and shown to that guy, and then anyone that comes to that page after that would be able to see it. So very, very cool. Finally, you can add media as well. All you have to do is upload it just like you regularly would in your WordPress account, and it is going to sync it to Cloudinary. So if I wanted to add an image, let's just pick an image from my file. Here's a screenshot. It's going to upload that, and then if we go back to our library, we can see that it has already been added to Cloudinary. And if you wanted to click over here, you could confirm that by refreshing, and there's the screenshot right there. Really, really cool. Finally, to make sure that you're keeping up with your credits, you can go back to the home page and you can see how many transformations you have used. So uploading all those pictures and applying the transformations took 88 different transformations. And remember, we have 25,000, so we're not even close to breaking this. We're using just 0.09 of one credit, and we have 25 per month. So it's very generous what they give you with the free stuff. I would encourage you also to click into the add-ons here. So Cloudinary is really cool, and this is actually one of the more powerful things that Cloudinary offers, I think, is being able to kind of do what Zapier does and bring in all these other technologies to improve your pictures. So you could do the AI background removal, you can use Google's like AI video transcription to create transcriptions of your videos. You can do machine learning auto tagging. You can do advanced facial attributes detection. It's great. And if you want to scroll down and kind of read about what each one does, that's here too. And then it shows you how to kind of implement these as well. So these are obviously going to be a little bit more expensive, but if you've got the bandwidth and you've got the money for it, then these are really cool and they can help you with your uploading and just kind of keeping all that automated. So now that we've set all that up, let's do one final test and let's see how our website has been improved by just adding Cloudinary in 2 seconds for free. So let's go back to GT Metrics and let's first take a look at our website. As we can see, all the pictures are still just as sharp, right? They look, to my eye, just as good as they did. And so there's a check there. We can even look under the developer tools if we want to, just to ensure that these are being loaded from Cloudinary. So you can pull up your developer tools, you can go to your network, and let's click out of these right here. And then you can check out images, and let's just refresh to get all that coming in. And you can see that these images are being downloaded from Cloudinary. So these are not coming from our WordPress site. So that's working, so that's good to go. So now let's test out the difference that that had on our site, just adding that Cloudinary plugin. So let's put in our site here, test your site. All right, so look at that. So just by adding the plugin and not really doing anything else, we took our total page size down almost 50%, and it loaded about the same. Now, I haven't gone in and scaled these images. Like you can see this one, for example, is loading from Cloudinary, so that's good. But it's still loading that 1707 pixels by 2560 images, and it's having to resize it itself. So if we can just go into Cloudinary and apply some global settings, like saying we want to max out our images at, I don't know, 900 pixels wide or even 600, then that will go down even further. It's just going to continue to take the page size down and the page speed. So just in that 2 minutes of uploading this free plugin, it took our page size down almost 50%. And keep in mind, again, I'm using exaggerated images to show you what's going on. Overall, I actually really approve of this Cloudinary plugin. It's quick, it's easy to implement. If you are a developer, you can get pretty crazy with it, and you can see it's got all these add-ons and different SDKs and things. But if you're just a run-of-the-mill WordPress designer, maybe a business owner that doesn't know much about coding, all you've got to do is upload this, sign in, copy and paste, and it starts optimizing your images for you. And unless you've got tens of thousands, it's going to do it essentially for free. So thanks for watching this video. Let me know below if you have any questions or if you've seen anything else cool done with the Cloudinary stuff. Maybe you've used one of these add-ons and you can show us something. Please subscribe if that was helpful, and thanks for checking out the video.